Hey guys, before we start the video, I have some adorable merchandise for you all. You want axolotls on your face? Get them face huggers. Silky, comfy, great. You want axolotls you can drink from? I got axolotl mugs. Have some stickers. Head on over to my Teespring for a whole colorful cast of axolotl-based products. And remember, it's not pandering, it's just good marketing. Back to the video. Howdy, Eldritch Buddies, this is Kiwi Calamity, and I know why you're here. You want to make a 100 days video, huh? It's harder than it looks. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, but luckily for you, I'm just as much of a noob as you are! I've failed so many times. But that means I'm an expert in dying, so I can tell you what not to do. Let's hop right into it. So let me tell you some of the biggest mistakes I've made right off the bat. First of all was being too relaxed. In my very first world, I was pretty set up actually. There were some amethyst geodes nearby, I was making plans for a lighthouse, I had a whole build planned, and then I started jamming out to some lo-fi. The lo-fi, man. The lo-fi was what killed me. Because while I was relaxed and being like, oh yeah, this is no big deal, this is my first hardcore world, I'm gonna be fine. And dead. A general sense of alertness, or being alert, is always a good idea in a hardcore world, but we'll get a little bit more into that in a bit. My second biggest mistake was getting cocky. My second world, I died because I thought, yes, Illager raid sounds like a fun idea. I can get the little revive pendant. Why can't I remember what it's called? Frick. You know exactly what I'm talking about, but essentially, I got cocky, and I thought, I'll just tower up. I have an infinity bow. I've been set up since day one. This is a great world. I've got gear. I don't have diamonds, but I'm gonna be fine. I'll tower up, and I died. Thinking back on it, there were so many different ways I could prepare, and I didn't. Or I could have not picked that fight at all. Don't pick fights that you know you can't win, or don't pick fights you think you can win, but are not prepared enough to do so. The next is not knowing that you can check the days thusly. F3, local difficulty. It's right there. I didn't do this for the first few videos, and now I'm honestly curious how long I actually lasted in each of them. Probably not more than 10 days for those, but there's a bigger effort that I made. It's gonna be released soon, but anyway. Let's move on to your first priorities when making a hardcore world. Priority number 1, shield. / armor. It seems pretty obvious because it makes you a little bit harder to kill, and honestly should have priority over weapons. Because on one hand, yes, you could kill something with a sword, or you could block a shot from a skeleton that would have killed you before. It's honestly better to run around with a shield than run around with a sword, at least in the beginning. Second priority, bed. Not only do you not want to have to deal with phantoms, it will also prevent your nights from being more dangerous than they have to be. Try to get a bed during your first night, and you will have to deal with far less mobs in the morning. And your third priority, shelter. Prevent yourself from dying with a dirt shack, but there is a base of choice. If you can manage it, villages can be a great place to set up at first. You get built-in bodyguards, a food supply, and trading opportunities. Plus, a shelter that's not a hole in the ground. You can always move later, or else conquer it and claim it as your own with a mighty castle. Just keep in mind, if you kill any villagers, you're gonna have to deal with a raid at your home. Now then, let's move on to your secondary priorities. Water bucket. We may not all be able to clutch equally, but a bucket may save you from fall damage, from being on fire, or from being blasted into oblivion by a certain green menace. Next, make yourself a useful pet army. Sometimes it's hard to forget that cats are actually very useful in hardcore. Put them around your base, prevent creepers in your base. Dogs, bodyguards. And one that most people may not think of off the top of your head, but has been very useful to me, are parrots. They will tell you about hostile mobs in an area, and if you're not fully paying attention, like I was when I was doing the lo-fi bit, with a simple pitched hiss, these useful little men and women and beautiful birds can tell you that there is a creeper nearby. They're great, parrots are underrated, get yourself a parrot if you can. Now, Let's move on to my general tips. Be alert. Remember that you can die at any moment, but that's the excitement of hardcore. Just don't do what I did. Obviously, there gets to be a point where you start to feel invincible in hardcore, but just remember, don't get cocky. I always tend to die when I pick fights I cannot win, whether that's with pillagers or with endermen. Prepare for the nether, gear up more than you think you need to, and use caution above all else. Remember what the name of the game is. Hardcore. Remember that the game means you could die at any moment and lose everything. And finally, if you're in a bad situation, try to stop and think. I tend to freeze, and that's gotten me killed. If you can, take your time and try to get out of whatever situation you're in. Have blocks and a bucket on hand, and know that you can escape if you try hard enough. Unless you're in lava. Then may you pull a manhunt level escape and not lose all of your hard work. And finally, let me give you some tips on if you're planning to record 100 Days videos. Take notes. Seriously, it seems like such a simple thing, but take notes if you're planning on making a video. 100 days in Minecraft without sleeping is roughly 30 hours of content you'll have to sift through. At the end of each day, escape/pause your world, and jot down the eventful things that happened in a notebook, then keep playing. Seriously, this will save you so many headaches and make your content flow a lot smoother when you just have notes to organize and then video content to sift through. Seriously, take notes. I'm shaking your shoulders back and forth. Do you understand me? Take note! Next up for recording tips, look at other 100 Days videos. Do some research, see what videos you like, and then jot down reasons about why you like them. I'm not saying you have to copy them, and you shouldn't. But if you have no idea how to edit your recording, then it can really help to have a basis. For example, I love the Forge Labs 100 Day videos. Not sponsored. I feel like I shouldn't have to say that, but I'm gonna say it anyway. They're very cinematic and fun, and I kind of base some of my editing around it, but not all of it. Finally, try to be exciting. Remember why these videos appeal. They are basically miniature movies of anyone trying to desperately survive in a world of dire straits, able to die at any moment. But recording these videos can get a little tiring after a bit. Don't be afraid to change up concepts, take adventures, and take some risks. And I know I said to be careful, but don't be so paranoid and scared to lose your world that you don't have fun. Because after all, the fun in hardcore is the risk. It puts so much more on the line when you realize your world could be lost at any time. So keep in mind, have fun, and don't lose that, because when it gets to be just business is when it gets to be miserable. But anyway, thanks so much for watching. This has been Kiwi Calamity, and I'll see you guys later.